Hello, my friends. Woohoo! What a beauty day. Day 8 of Discover Crowsnest Pass. That's insane. How is it already day 8? Maybe I skipped some days. Actually, I did skip some days because some days I can't get out. Anyways, we are gonna go to Star Creek Falls. Ha ha ha! My plan is to do the upper route. So a few years ago, when I worked for Alberta Environment and Parks, we put in some bridges, and there's one on the lower part of the falls and one above the falls. And I love going over those bridges. And I'm gonna show you what they look like because they're a lot of work to put in. Kudos to the trail crew, the contractors, even the helicopter crew, because we needed a helicopter to put these bridges in. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, look at that beauty. That is the lower bridge. The fun thing about this bridge, I mean, like, look at those stringers. Oh yeah, that's a good looking bridge. Definitely engineered. The thing about this bridge, this lower bridge, that I think is really, really neat. So when the trail crew was out here building this bridge, so what I did with Alberta Environment and Parks is I was kind of like a project manager. So I wouldn't always be out with the crew, and the crew worked really, really hard outside to make these projects happen. And I wasn't here, but during some of it I was in the office, and they called me and they said, "Hey Heather, we found a stick of dynamite. What do we do with it?" And I was like, I don't know. And it was a stick of dynamite in a mason jar, and apparently that's what they used to do because the miners would take dynamite home with them. They need to keep it dry. There's even one story about a miner who they would put the dynamite in their oven to keep it dry. And there was one miner who invited some friends over, started the oven, and it exploded. Everyone was okay. I mean, you have to think back, this is like between 1920 and 1940, maybe even earlier than that, so it's quite a long time ago. But that's what the miners would do, is they would walk around with the dynamite in a mason jar. They needed to keep it dry, and when the trail crew was digging out these abutments, they found a stick of dynamite. So what do you do with a stick of dynamite? I don't know. We called the RCMP, and they called their bomb squad, and they had to come down and remove it. So it was quite an eventful story. I am seeing so many Douglas fir cones on the ground. Now yesterday we learned about Douglas fir cones and a few other cones. So if you missed yesterday, go check it out because we have a little scavenger hunt that you can do in your own backyard. It doesn't have to be a cone that we kind of introduce to you, but you know, we do want to see a cone out of your yard. So a big kudos, Linda and family, Linda and Fam Jam. You guys are gonna get one of my favorite stories, although I think you've already heard it because you've been on some trips. But you're gonna get one of my favorite all-time cone stories, and I'm gonna send that to you. Oh, cool. So I'm kind of reaching the top of this little hill, and I'm now going through a transition area. Woo-hoo. What does that even mean, a transition area? Oh my goodness, what does it mean? So it's kind of like, if you are running from the beach onto a sidewalk, and you might have a ramp to get onto the sidewalk. So you're running on the sand and you're like, yeah, and I need something to help me get up and onto the sidewalk. Oh, boom! You have a ramp, and that helps you get over there. So a transition area is kind of like that ramp. It's where our ecosystem is transitioning from one zone to another. And down below in the valley we saw a lot of Douglas fir trees, and now I'm starting to see a lot of lodgepole pine trees. And so lodgepole pines, they like to have well-drained soils. So you're not going to find them so much in the valley, or if you do, they're kind of struggling a little bit. And then you start seeing them a lot when you get up higher onto a ridge. And that's what's happening right now. And lots of lodgepole pines right here. Yeah. One of the cool things that we talked about the other day with lodgepole pine is that their cones are serotinous, which means they need heat to open up. And I'd put a lodgepole pine cone in my pocket. And today when I brought my jacket out, I was like, oh, I got all this stuff in my pocket. What is it? It's usually either garbage or like little niblets I picked up along the trail. And yeah, it was the lodgepole pine cone, and it started opening up. I guess it was warm enough in my house that it was like, hey guys, I'm out. I'm totally out, and I am going to reproduce. Oh man, that sounds like what might happen after all of this is done. Woo-hoo! Bad joke, I know, but hey, it might be true. Beware, beware. Oh, this is one of my favorite viewpoints. A little back on the trail, you can see Century Mountain. But on this, you can't quite, it's hidden behind the trees. You know, it's almost sunset. It pretty much is sunset. Got out a little late today. Busy working. That's a thing, you know. For entrepreneurs, they still work. In fact, I think when I'm not guiding, I work even harder because I'm thinking about ways to keep my business alive. So there's Crowsnest Mountain, Dead Man's Pass. I'll point for you. Crowsnest Mountain. There you go. Crowsnest Mountain. Dead Man's Pass. This is part of the High Rock Range. And then we have Tecumseh right here. And we have Crowsnest Ridge right there. And there's a little tower on top. I think it was day 2 we hiked in, and we went in there to Phillips Lake. So that was a pretty neat one. I mean, there's hikes everywhere. You just have to know where they are because they're not signed. And you're always welcome to come out with Uplift Adventures, and we will definitely connect you to the landscape. Yeah, love that spot. That's Star Creek down there, Star Creek Falls. So beautiful. Now, if you like this hike, I do have a description of Star Creek Falls on my website, in my blog, on how to get to these locations. In the wintertime, I really like going up the creek because it's really beautiful. There's some beautiful canyons in there. Just some neat stuff like a tuff. So calcium coming out of the springs there, and just a really neat way of seeing Star Creek from a different perspective. And the falls are really beautiful when you get up and close. I mean, you do need a pretty cold winter to get up there and be safe, and definitely take ice traction devices. I really like this upper route too, and you can do it as a loop. And I like to do this one a lot in the summer because I don't like disturbing the creek bed so much in the summertime. I don't want to encourage erosion, so I stay away from doing that. And then I also, it's really crunchy. I also really encourage you to do these trips after the COVID-19 virus has calmed down, because I do want to encourage you guys to stay home, stay within your own communities at this time. And then once everything's open up, we're going to have a big party. Party! Party, party, party! If you've been watching my videos, you know that Pam Drover has done a song for me. Tynan Groves and Shelley Groves have done a song. And you know what? Wouldn't that be awesome to get, I haven't told them this yet, but wouldn't it be awesome to get them out and we could do a big celebration? I think so. Tell me if you think so too. Let's make it happen. All right. Here's the bridge upstream of the waterfall. Now I'll give you a little bit more reason to not come back here right now, as I just found a kill site. Yeah, makes you a little nervous. You know, this time of year I still carry bear spray. I always carry bear spray with me. Some of it's a little bit more accessible than others, but yeah. Anyways, this bridge that's behind me now, that one, I worked with a really great crew of people when I worked for Environment and Parks, and I wasn't there when they installed this bridge. Usually I'd like to be there if there's helicopter work because it's a little bit more technical and dangerous, so I like to have really experienced people on that kind of slinging work. And but I did have a really great crew. Miss those people a lot. And anyways, getting that bridge in, I know, was a big challenge with the helicopter, because when you go over the bridge, look above you and you'll see that there's a lot of trees. So trying to get something installed in that location was a bit of a challenge, and it is dangerous. And you have to remember that, you know, our parks and places, it takes a lot of money to do trail work. So respect it, be kind to it, don't vandalize it. And a big thing that I would see is people would vandalize trails because they're mad at government. But you know what? They're just gonna go back and put it back in, and it doesn't do anyone any favors because it costs money. So support and respect. Support and respect. Oh, I'm almost finished climbing this hill. Ah! One more view. And a little lookout from this side and down on the waterfall. Yeah. Oh man, Usher's on the radio. I love Usher. I'm such a dork. So thank you for joining Uplift Adventures. There's DOG on today's trip. This ends our tour for today. I wanted to kind of get back to the car because that kill site, I didn't want to be hanging out at dusk during that. But thank you so much for joining Uplift Adventures. If you like these videos, please share and let other people know. Let's discover Crowsnest Pass together. And if you have any suggestions or any ideas, please let me know. I'd love to hear them. So let me know and let's share the passion for the outdoors. All right, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye for now. Oh, stay safe, stay healthy, stay awesome.